Good afternoon. Thank you for joining Damon Runyon's awards info session today. We will go over two awards. The first will be the Quantitative Biology Fellowship, and then the second award will be the Physician Scientist Training Award. Both of these awards are due on December 1st, 2022 at 4 p.m., and you can submit your proposals through Proposal Central. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Megan Allen. I am the Scientific Director at Damon Runyon, and I'm very excited to give you a little bit of insight into what the foundation funds, as well as some information about these two specific awards. But first, Damon Runyon's mission is quite simply to fund the brave and the bold. Our mission, so we fund high-risk, high-reward cancer research. We identify and enable young scientists who are brilliant, brave, and bold enough to go where others have not. And it all began with a friendship. So Walter Winchell, who most name as the inventor of gossip journalism, was deeply affected by his best friend, Damon Runyon's death from throat cancer. Damon Runyon himself was a prolific writer and wrote the play Guys and Dolls. So shortly after Damon Runyon's death, Walter Winchell gathered up all of his famous Hollywood friends and decided to start a foundation in his best friend's name. And so today, if you come into our office, it sort of harkens back to our Hollywood beginnings, because you'll see pictures of Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, Muhammad Ali, and it's quite fun to see those old pictures. However, today, 75 years later, we are a public charity that raises donations from across the nation to support cancer research. We are very proud of our alumni, and to date, 13 are Nobel Prize winners, 41 are National Academy of Medicine members, 97 are National Academy of Science members, 7 have received the National Medal of Science, and 15 are Lasker Award winners. Since its inception, Damon Runyon has funded 4,000 scientists with a total investment of over $430 million. This year, we commit to $18 million in funding that will be distributed across 6 research programs. Our impact is multifaceted and bridges several research domains. So our alumni have been critical, have made significant contributions to several areas of therapeutic innovation. And here is just a list of several FDA-approved drugs that are currently used that our alumni have been instrumental in bringing to market. I'll highlight a few just because of how famous they are commercially. So we have Gardasil, the HPV vaccine, Chimera and Opdivo, which are immunotherapy drugs. Secondly, our alumni and current awardees contribute significantly to technologies. For example, CRISPR genome sequencing, high-resolution single-cell sequencing, as well as contribution to novel computational biology algorithms. Lastly, several current awardees, as well as alumni, have co-founded successful biotech companies. And so here is a list of a few. This is not an exhaustive list, but just to highlight that our scientists provide support in multiple areas. Our awards are funded through the support of the general public, scientific companies, as well as elite nonprofits. And so throughout the year, we'll hold several public fundraising events, which are always very fun for us as staff, as well as participants. So 100% of all of our donations are used to fund cancer research. Nothing goes towards overhead or staff salaries. Also, biotech and pharmaceutical companies recognize and understand how crucial your work is to the development of next generation therapies, and therefore also donate to provide funding for your training. We also partner with elite nonprofits such as HHMI and other charitable organizations who recognize your potential. We fund early career investigators with pioneering new ideas. And so these ideas span the gamut. So we have some researchers who are using cryo-EM to look at subcellular organelles. We also have RNA biologists, as well as physician scientists who are bringing clinical trials to their institutions. Our investigators come from across institutions across the United States. So if you were to go to our website and click on our impact, you can look at the different projects that we fund and the geography. So for example, we have a few people on the call who are from Stanford. So if you are to hover your mouse over California here and click on it, what will populate is the list of current awardees by institution in California. And you can search different Stanford scientists so that you can reach out to them and ask for advice when applying to Damon Runyon. Likewise, you can hover over Texas, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, and find the same information. So all of our current awardees are also listed on the website, and their names, institution, as well as mentors are listed. Our award programs support the entire spectrum of cancer research. We fund basic research to translational and then on to clinical trials. And so the two award programs that I will talk about today are the Quantitative Biology Fellowship and the Damon Runyon Physician Scientist Training Award. So first, the Quantitative Biology Fellowship Award. The goal of this fellowship is to identify computational scientists who innovatively combine quantitative analyses and modeling to solve biological questions. This program supports computational scientists who are deeply connected to biology labs so that they can bring their computational skills to bear on important biological questions, particularly in cancer. And so the deadline for the Q Bio Fellowship is December 1st, 2022 by 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can apply through Proposal Central. So the eligibility requirements here are that you're a computational scientist, there's no citizenship requirement, that you have a PhD, MD, MD, PhD, DDS, DVM, or DO, that you have two committed mentors, one from the field of computational science, a dry lab, and one from the area of cancer biology, a wet lab. So if you are a PhD or a medical, a physician or a medical doctor, but you do not practice, you have within 5 years of receipt of the terminal degree to apply. If you are an active physician, there are no restrictions on the time from your terminal degree to apply. However, for both groups, you can only be in your mentor's lab for less than 18 months prior to the application deadline date. You need to devote, if you're a researcher, solely a researcher with no clinical duties, you need to devote 100% of your time to the Damon Runyon supported research activities. If you are an active physician, you'll need to support 80% of your time to the research activities. This funding lasts for 3 years, and it's given in the form of a stipend. You have expenses, and then you receive a child care allowance. So for the stipend for year 1, it's $76,000, year 2, $78,000, year 3, $80,000. You also receive an expense account of $2,000 per year. So this money can be used for travel to conferences. It can also be used for research reagents. Or with your express permission, it can be used to offset healthcare costs. Also, we provide a child care allowance, and that is $1,000 per child per year for as long as the award is active. And so what are the components of the Quantitative Biology Fellowship? So these components are listed on our website, and so I won't go through each one, but what I will do is highlight a few here. So we will ask for, in addition to your biosketch, we will ask for a separate bibliography form, which provides hyperlinks to each publication. And it's helpful for us if you either bold or underline your name so that it stands out. We're also going to ask for a letter from the applicant that discusses the impact that your science has on the field. And this letter is has a 2-page maximum. Here, we will also ask for a personal statement. So in this personal statement, you can provide us with a little bit of background, as well as where you want your career to go and how the Damon Runyon funding will help you reach those goals in your career. You can also list any shortcomings in your application here or discuss them, as well as if you choose, you can also discuss any challenges or obstacles that you've had to overcome due to your background as someone who is typically underrepresented in science. We will also ask you to provide a statement of the long-term commitment to a career in cancer research, and this is about 1 paragraph long. Now, when you look over here for your mentors, so you need to provide, or they need to write 2 letters of support for you. So you'll have 2 distinct letters, 1 from each mentor, bio sketches from each mentor, as well as a mentorship track record form listing their former mentees and where they are today. This form is listed on Proposal Central, and we need 1 from each mentor. Lastly, you'll need a training plan that highlights the advantages of this dual mentorship. This is 2 pages in length, and you submit 1 training plan that both of the mentors will work on together. We also require 3 letters of recommendation from PIs or scientists other than your mentors, as well as we also allow letters of collaboration if applicable. So here you have 2 letters of collaboration max are permitted, and these should not be letters of recommendation. It should be how this person is collaborating with you to advance the project. Now, when we look at the evaluation criteria for the Quantitative Biology Fellowship, it's separated into 2 domains here, you as the applicant as well as the mentors. So you as the applicant, the review committee will look at the quality of the applicant, the commitment to pursuing a research career as a computational biologist, and the potential to excel in cancer research. They will also look at your qualifications, experience, and productivity. And they will discuss the importance of the problem, the originality of the approach, the appropriateness of the techniques, and clarity of presentation in the research proposal. Lastly, and one of the major areas here, they will be looking at the innovation of the proposed solution to the biological problem. So think deeply about how you can creatively attack a unique problem. Also, on the mentor side, your mentors will be evaluated on their ability, the ability for them to provide mentorship and robust training to you, the applicant. The review committee is looking for a demonstrated track record of mentorship from the mentor team, as well as their qualifications, experience, and productivity. And so now onto the Physician Scientist Training Award. So the percentage of physician scientists in the workforce has fallen drastically since the 1980s. Damon Runyon recognizes the impact that physician scientists have on the translational cancer research. To enable physicians to build a sustainable career at the crossroads of clinical work and research, we provide the Physician Scientist Training Award. And it consists of the following components for it to be successful: a formalized mentorship, 80% protected research time, and the freedom to apply to future funding. And as mentioned in the beginning of the talk, the deadline for the Physician Scientist Training Award is December 1st, 2022 by 4 p.m. Eastern Time through Proposal Central. And your degree requirements here are an MD or a DO, employed in the United States. However, there is no citizenship requirement, but having that employment in the United States indicates that you need a valid visa. You must have completed residency, clinical training, and be U.S. Specialty Board eligible prior to the start date of the award, which this year is July 1st, 2023. You'll have to devote 80% of your effort to the research, and no more than 3 years of research experience, either as a postdoc or during your clinical fellowship, is allowed. You can apply at any time prior to your initial assistant professorship appointment or an equivalent position. No other physician scientist career development awards may be concurrently held with this award. And this is a 4-year award that gives you the ability to use the bulk of the funds for your stipend and/or research expenses. We give tuition repayment as well as a childcare allowance. So in year 1, you can see that your stipend and/or research expenses is $100,000. And this increases by $10K for each subsequent year. For the tuition repayment benefit, all that we require is that you first apply to the NIH student loan repayment program, and then we can distribute our tuition repayment. For the child care allowance, it's similar to QBio, that you get $1,000 per child per year for the length of the award. Now for the Physician Scientist Training Award components. So once again, these are all listed on the website, and I'll touch on a few here that I think are probably more unique to us at Damon Runyon. So once again, we will ask you for an applicant letter, and that is, in that letter, you will describe your long-term vision and goals for your career in clinical or translational cancer investigation, and that's a 2-page maximum. We also ask for a personal statement, and so in this personal statement, we're really asking for how Damon Runyon will help you reach your goals in the future. Also, it's a place for you to explain any deficiencies in the application or describe any obstacles or challenges that you might have had, for example, due to a background in a background that's underrepresented in science or traditionally underrepresented in science. We will also ask you for a bibliography here with hyperlinks to each research article. This bibliography is a little particular in that it requires a more specific formatting. So we ask for all of your research articles first, lumped together with hyperlinks and your name highlighted in some way, followed by any review articles or any book chapters, for example. We'll also ask you for your applicant's accomplishments, and we're asking for 3 accomplishments here. So in this applicant's accomplishment document, you'll list and describe the 3 most important professional accomplishments. And this is a little different from your NIH BioSketch under the contributions to science, in that you have a little bit more freedom to talk about how you individually motivated the project or propelled the research forward. We also require 2 letters of recommendation, and these letters come from scientists or other physicians other than your mentor or mentors. Okay. We also require an institutional letter. And so here, the letter of commitment from the institution has to be endorsed by both the dean or center director and the chair of the department. And so the letter of commitment, what we require pretty much in this letter is a confirmation of the applicant and the mentor's academic appointments. And also we ask them to confirm that if awarded, you, the applicant, will be given 80% protected research time. We also require a few documents from the mentor. So for example, a letter of support. If you have more than 1 mentor, you need you need a letter of support from each mentor, biosketches from each mentor. Also that mentorship track record form that lists each mentee and where they are now. You'll have a training plan that highlights the advantages of the single mentorship, or if you have 2 mentors, the dual mentorship. And then also, if your PI is a little bit more junior, your PI can also address that in this training plan as well. And here you'll have letters from collaborators. This is optional, you do not need these, but it's a maximum of 2, and these letters of collaboration should not be additional letters of recommendation. Okay, so the evaluation criteria for the Physician Scientist Award, I've broken it down into 3 domains here, you as the applicant, the mentor, as well as the institution. So the applicant, the reviewers will be evaluating the applicant's commitment to pursuing a research career and potential to excel in cancer research. The formal research proposal will also be evaluated as it was written by the applicant. So what will be looked at here is the importance of the problem, the originality, the feasibility of the proposed research, the appropriateness of technical aspects of the research plan, and the clarity of presentation. And lastly, the overall importance of the proposed research to the understanding of cancer and/or prevention, diagnosis, or treatment will also be evaluated. On the mentor side, the reviewers will be looking at the capacity of the mentor or the mentors to provide a robust training experience that will accelerate the development of the applicant's scientific skills and prepare them to independently conduct high-quality, innovative cancer-related research. Here, and importantly, take note, the mentor must have generated a proven track record in successful training of other MDs or DOs in research careers. And lastly, the letter of commitment from the institution will be discussed. Now, lastly, in summary, and this is for both potential applicants of the QBio program as well as the physician scientist program, if awarded a Damon Runyon award, you join a scientifically rich community that offers many opportunities. One, the award will give you the scientific freedom to ask the questions that you're most passionate about. It'll automatically link you into a network of top researchers who are very open to the idea of sharing data and ideas. And these will lead to future collaborations and lifelong mentorship. And with that, I just want to say thank you very much for listening to me talk for the last 20 minutes or so about these two exciting award programs. If you have any questions or any doubts of your eligibility, you can contact us with questions at awards@damonrunyon.org, awards@damonrunyon.org. And then lastly, I want to introduce our fantastic awards team. So we are led by the president and CEO, Dr. Young Lee, who is a former Damon Runyon awardee herself. We have the Chief Administrative Officer, Claire Cahill, who is fantastic and has just a wealth of knowledge on awards programs, myself, and then the program coordinator for both of these awards, Shannon Donovan. And you can feel free to visit our awards page, www.damonrunyon.org, to find out who we currently fund, the types of projects, the institutions, and we look forward to working with you in the future. So thank you very much.